So this is my quick full card breakdown and predictions for UFC Kape vs Horiguchi. I think it's UFC Fight Night Vegas 270 or 119. So first fight, let's get to the first fight in the card. It is Shane Collins versus Otari Tansvalovi. And Shane Collins, he's a A1 combat champion, which is Uriah Faber's like new promotion kind of. And I think he's a champion on there, and he's a kind of like a pressure forward, like wrestler, grappler kind of, and just pressures on the feet too. Not like crazy technical, but like gets the job done so far. And then Tansvalovi's kind of a at-range kickboxer, kind of on the back foot, but is also a wrestler from Georgia. And he lost his Dana White Contender Series fight just because he wasn't active enough, and he's kind of backing up on the back foot. But he's also, he's still a good striker, and this is kind of a 50-50 fight. But I think I'll have to go Collins on this one just with the forward pressure, and I think we'll get control time, and maybe just the optics will make him seem like he's kind of winning, maybe if he's not even outlanding Tansvalovi. And then next fight in the card, we have Luna Santos versus Carla Rosa, number 8 versus number 11. So kind of a significant fight in the women's bantamweight division. And maybe it won't be like the craziest fight, but Rosa, she's been in the division a while, only lost to the top girls, and it's kind of a volume striker and kind of just a tough fighter. Then Santos, kind of the younger fighter, more athletic. She kind of is judo and like grappling. And I think she's an underdog in this fight, but I think I'm going to pick Santos just because I think she'll probably have some control time on the fence, maybe in the ground, maybe just barely scratched by this fight just with control time. That's just how I see this fight going. And then next we had Shabazian versus Chikoli, and Chikoli's kind of a big favorite. Shabazian's he's a brother of Edmund Shabazian actually, and he's kind of a like he's not striker like his brother, and it's more of like kind of a grappler, submission specialist. He fights a little like kind of like that patchy mix grappler style. And Chikoli's just like a powerful striker from Georgia. He's kind of, I don't know, and it's not very like high level like fight, I'd say, in the welterweight division, but I'd have to go Chikoli on this one. He's a big favorite, and I think he'll just outstrike Shabazian on the feet. And Shabazian's not really like a great offensive wrestler, so it's gonna be hard for him to get the fight in the ground. And then next we had Michael Aswell versus Gaston Bolanos, and Aswell in that Houston card, he had a close fight with Luke Riley, even though he lost all the rounds. Was somewhat competitive, and well, I don't think he should be a minus 400 favorite, but he's young, he's 25, and I think he'll out-volume Bolanos, but I think it's going to be a close fight, and Bolanos is a live dog. The line should not be this wide, but I'm still going Aswell. And then Alan Nascimento versus Mitch Raposo. This is a rebook from the UFC Canada card, the Malat Burns card, and Nascimento, he's a good grappler. He did get knocked out by Durden on short notice on that card because Raposo got sick. But he's still a good submission grappler, and he's big for flyweight. He's missed weight a couple times. And then Raposo, he's like a boxer from that Boston, like Calvin Kattar, Rob Font gym. But he also has good grappling defense, decent wrestler. And even though he's a dog in this fight, I'm taking Raposo, because I think he'll win the exchanges on the feet, and he'll be able to hold his own somewhat in the grappling. And just he'll win the rounds because of the more damage done, even if he gets controlled for a bit of the round. And then next we have Bia Mesquita versus Melissa Mullins. Mesquita is like known as like one of the greatest women's jiu-jitsu practitioners of all time. She's like a massive favorite, minus 575 in this fight. And I don't think she should be that big of a favorite because I don't think she's like that great at MMA, and she's kind of small for bantamweight. But Melissa Mullins isn't that great, so she should win this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if this fight's close or maybe big upset happens, But I'm still going Bia Mesquita. And then the prelim headliner is Andre Lima versus Kevin Borjas. Lima, undefeated prospect, big pride. He was the guy who got bit that one fight. And he's explosive, gets big knockouts, and usually this is kind of a layup for him. But Borjas ain't as bad as he seems. He's fought a lot of the top guys like Joshua Van even, and he's just a striker really. But I think Lima will get the finish in this fight. But the odds don't suggest, like, this is a closer fight than the odds suggest in this one as well. Like, I don't think Lima, he's kind of hyped up because he's undefeated and stuff, but I'm still picking him to win. But I think it's closer than the line like suggests. Then for the main card opener, we have Vinicius Oliveira versus Andre Fili. And Fili's he's a veteran of the game. He had a great fight versus Jose Delgado his last fight, but he's very inconsistent. He's a good striker, but Oliveira coming up from 135 to 145. He's still pretty decently big for, he's like a regular size featherweight, I'd say. And he's a powerful striker. He's a little unorthodox, but he's also a decent grappler. And I think he'll just pressure Fili in the fight and just win the fight by throwing more and maybe with some control time as well. And then next fight we have Melzik Bagdasaryan versus Murtalizi Magomedov. And Magomedov, he's kind of a big prospect. And Bagdasaryan, I think his last fight was like a year and a half ago versus Gene Silva. And he's a good kickboxer, but I think Magomedov will just be able to, this is his debut, will be able to out-grapple Bagdasaryan in this fight. And I don't think his striking's too bad either. I haven't watched a ton of tape on him, but from what I've seen, he seems alright as well on the feet. I think he's a pretty, minus 350 favorite. And the next fight, we got C-Rod versus Hinder Emil. Emil's on a 2-fight losing streak now, but he's still a powerful striker, and Rodriguez known as a prospect killer. Like, he's beat a ton of like Bashi, and he beat Raul Rosas, but he's also lost to like some veterans. Just seems like he's just, I don't know, he loses when he steps up to like veteran competition. But I think he'll be able to beat Emil in this one just by out grappling him. But I think this is gonna be a close fight. A lot of close fights on this card. But he's a minus 300 favorite. I'm gonna go with C-Rod. And next we got the co-main event, Ion Cutelaba versus Navajo Sterling. Cutelaba's coming off that first round submission versus Umar Sy. And he's a good grappler and wild, powerful striker, even though recently he's been more kind of less wild in the striking. But then Sterling, great kickboxer. He's part of like the new city kickboxing prospect, and it's a ton of hype. And he's shown decent grappling defense so far, and I'm going to go Sterling on this one. But I think Cutelaba has some upset potential, and Sterling seems like a guy where he's going to get to a level where he's going to get his first loss and kind of get figured out. But I don't think it'll be this one. I'm going Sterling by, I think, maybe knockout or decision, but he'll win the fight in the feet. And next we got the main event. This is a banger. Kape versus Kyoji Horiguchi. It's a rematch from their fight in that tournament in Ryzen, like in 2017. It's a fun fight to go back and watch, but it's pretty wild. Kape's like gotten a lot better since then. There's like a lot of fouls. It was a wild fight, but now they're coming up. They're both vets. Number one contenders fight winner probably is fighting for the title after Pantoja fights for the title, and they're both good strikers, but I'm gonna lean Horiguchi on this one as a dog, plus 135. I think he'll be able to mix in the wrestling. I think he's a little bit faster. Maybe he'll be able to outstrike a little, like out volume Kape on the feet. Kape's dangerous with his power, but I think Horiguchi's fast enough to stay away from the power and mix in the wrestling and maybe like outstrike him on the feet somewhat. And yeah, those are my quick predictions and breakdown of UFC Fight Night 279. Well, Fight Night 279, UFC Vegas 119. And it should be a good Apex card on Saturday night.